We just spent 3 months traveling the USA out of this Ranger right here, and let me show you how we made it as comfortable as possible. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of wheel suspension and stuff, let me show you what we got going on inside. So on the inside, we've kept things pretty simple. So we don't have any crazy screens going on, but we've got 2 armrests, one for cash coins, and then we obviously got our cup holders, and makes it nice and comfortable driving long distances. And then we run a dash cover, so all vehicle papers, sunglasses, storage for the passenger. And then we've also got a gun holster underneath my seat for protection for when we're camping in all those sort of places. It's just a burner, so it's a self-defense weapon. So here in the back, we've done a flat deck, so removed the back seats to give us a lot more space. And then we've thrown these shelves in, or drawers, whatever you want to call them. Plastic, straight from Walmart, with kiddie locks. So when we wheel, they don't come flying open. And this is the best way to just keep our personal stuff, like clothes, like toiletries and that sort of thing, tucked away, out of the way. And then with the rest of the space while we travel, we just throw a few miscellaneous stuff like camera gear and dirty clothes in a bag and stuff all in the back here. So that's the interior of the car, all done and dusted. It makes it nice and livable, as well as pretty clean on the inside, not cluttery at all. And then heading backwards, we're on the passenger side of the truck. Roto packs, for us it's essential. The Ranger's got a pretty small fuel tank, so out west, we didn't start the trip with this, but being out west, in between gas stations is super far. We're towing a trailer, and then when we wheel and go off-road, we can be off-road for like 2-3 days. So having that extra 3 gallons of gas really helps. We've only used it once or twice, but the twice that we've used it come in handy. And then over to our new Prima Works bag. This is our snack cabinet, so don't come and steal my snacks if you see the Ranger in person. But yeah, so fully waterproof, as you can see, clean on the inside, dusty and dirty on the outside. But yeah, keeps all our snacks outside the rig, but keeps it nice and dry. So on the sides of the trucks, we've also chosen to do N-Fab rock sliders for the Ranger. I'm not sure if they make them anymore, but they are a pretty sick rock slider. It's nice and tucked away. If you do want something with more of a step, I'm sure there's options, but I chose as sleek as possible to give us as much clearance and stuff as well. But it protects your rocker panels big time when sliding down rocks and stuff. Even with having all the ground clearance we got, we still do land up on the rock sliders pretty often. And then to top off the passenger side of the vehicle, we've also got an awning from Outland Motorworks, and this just gives us shade. It's a 270-degree XL, so it flips to the forward as well, to the front as well, so it gives us really good coverage in the back. It keeps us out of the elements, sun, rain, the whole 9 yards. Then in the back here, obviously we're running a PrimaWorks tailgate bag, so it doesn't scratch the truck and stuff. We use it a lot for garbage, and then we got some miscellaneous cleaning stuff like bags and all sorts of here in the bag. Waterproof, so it keeps all this stuff clean, dry, and out of the dust. And then let's dive into the back of this. So throughout this whole rig, I've tried to keep things pretty clean and lightweight as possible. So we've obviously got that to flip up, and we've got a single drawer here. We usually keep a lot of food as well as some pots and pans, some gas bottles, those sort of things in here. And then I built a pretty neat kitchen for us, so we don't have to pull crates and stuff out every time. So the kitchen slides out like that. Kenzie's little step stool, because she's a bit short for the kitchen. So we've got a few clips here to just open. And what's nice about building it out of the Pelican case is it keeps it like pretty clean. Even though we run a tonneau cover, dust does get into the back, unfortunately. So we've got 2 burners over here. We've got storage in here, so spices, pans, that sort of thing. And then we've got water on tap, so open the tap and then flip the switch. and that way we've got onboard water, so washing dishes, that sort of thing. All our kitchen utensils, wash bin, as well as our cutting boards. And yeah, when you're ready to pack it up, fold this down, and yeah, that's the kitchen we used for 3 months to travel the country. And then moving over to our fridge slide, pretty simple. So dual zone fridge, Milwaukee pack out with a few simple tools and odds and ends in the crate, just to like, if something small has to happen, we can get it fixed and stuff. And then just a dual zone fridge. We've got a 200 amp hour battery in the back here, powering everything with solar on top of the tent as well. So when spending so long on the road, having a good prep surface or flat surface in the tailgate is pretty sweet, even with the cup holders. So Trailgate helped us out with one of these flat panels. I highly recommend. And then obviously having your tailgate bag like this is essential. Like whenever we're cooking and stuff, to have the bag right here, easy access into it for garbage and stuff. I don't do much of the cooking, Kenzie does, so she stands right here with the kitchen open, and then she's got a dustbin or trash can right here. And then whenever we get to rest stops or somewhere where we're filling up and need to empty out the bag, it's as simple as that to take the bag off. So then we can go and empty it out, makes that super nice and easy. And then if you just close the tailgate, that's all that's left. So that's the protective sleeve that doesn't scratch a truck. So it still looks pretty new behind there. Looks better than the paint on the truck. Coming to what's going on up here, it's pretty simple as well. Truck is the rack we decided to go with, killer rack. It's also adjustable. So depending on height and what we need, it's nice to be able to adjust it. So I wanted to run a lower rack, but we had to lift it about an extra inch so the kitchen top could open. And it was something I didn't anticipate when we got the rack, but luckily we were able to adjust it. So rack is from Truck, and then they also do these killer traction board mounts. One thing you'll notice, a lot of like Overland rigs have faded traction boards on because they're like sitting out here. So Truck sells a mount, so you can keep them tucked away underneath the bed rack, which I think is pretty sweet. And then Sterling has hooked us up with a rooftop tent. So I've always run a very similar tent, but we went over to this. It's nice and light. It's got solar panels on top, and it opens exceptionally easy and closes exceptionally easy. Like, everybody's excited to get to camp, so it's nice opening your gear, but it's when you're tired the next day or you want to go get rolling, having a tent that's easily closable is killer. And then moving forward, showering. That's a pretty touchy subject. A lot of people don't get right. So we've obviously got our big water tank in the back. So we fill up a geyser shower, the shower system, and then we can open the shower awning. So when you open the shower awning, this is my closet right here. So let me open the shower awning and show you my biggest headache is, so shower awning opens and then it is in my way. So I can't get into my closet. But Truck, same guys that do my bed rack, they sent the swing out that opens up like that to get the shower awning out of the way, and that way I have entrance into the back of the truck, which is pretty sweet. Went with a Taruka shower awning. Their shower awnings are killer. They blacked out. There's a bunch of cool features, and it's pretty simple to open. So let me open it like this. Yeah, so you've got your two arms that open, one and then the other, and it's got a pretty nice roof on the top of it, so it keeps that sun out if you're using it for a privacy room and stuff. And then what I love about this is it's got the built-in floor. It's a bit windy now, but like I said, so it's got the built-in floor, which makes it nice so you're not trying to zip the floor on every time you need to use it. But yeah, super spacious, got all the amenities you need on the inside, all the bags, towel holder, because most people are just throwing their towels over the end here. So it's nice, it's got a towel carrier on the inside. And then it's even got lights on the inside, which is super baller for if you're showering later at night after you're done cooking and having dinner. So Turuka shower awning, pretty killer. So moving on to the roof up here, we've got a Martin off-road roof rack, pretty killer, does what it needs to do, nice and sturdy. And then we've got two cases. We've got a Pelican case up here and then, I don't know, Harbor Freight case. So this one we keep up here for blankets, pillows, and all our sleeping gear. So when the tent is open, we can actually just open the window and use the case. And then in this case is the stuff we don't use as often. So we got like a portable toilet in here, extra gas bottles for the propane stove and stuff, and then a little coffee table and stuff like that. So things we're not using all the time, or things we don't need quick access to. Just extra storage on the roof is a huge help. So up front, we kept it pretty simple once again. I've just got two big pods made by Go Light. Don't know how many lumens, but it's wickedly bright. And then down here, we've got Lasfit lights just for the amber and the dust and stuff. And as you can see, this buddy lost the bolt, so we're just going to end out the trip with a strap that I put on. Well, I've been too lazy to throw a bolt on it, so we'll get that done whenever we get home. And then bumper, get a couple questions about this. At one stage I was in college and I took a welding class, so I took the welding class so I could learn how to fab stuff, and this was the project I chose how to do. The truck has been through it. The bumper's done pretty well. We just got to put a winch in here, but we hadn't needed to winch at all this trip. So yeah, so been pretty happy with the setup with lights and bumper. The bumper also gives us a huge amount of clearance. As you can see, the first thing to hit a rock is our tow hook, which is quite far off the ground, and then it's got no obstruction, so the wheel's got all the clearance it needs to climb up whatever obstacles. So up front, we don't really ever hang the front on anything because the wheels get to it pretty quick, so our approach angle's pretty spot on. And then last of all, the thing that I get asked the most about the truck is the stance. What is going on? No, we are not running massive wheel spaces, and no, we are not long travel. We're actually on portal axles. So what a portal axle does is, if your input is here, usually your output is right next to it, but with a gear drop, it's now our output is here. So between the two centers, we've got 5 inches of lift. So it gives us that huge advantage when it comes to clearance. So we are running a 37-inch tire right now, and it gives us the clearance as if we had a 42-inch tire. So we can run a smaller tire with huge amount of clearance. So that's why it looks like the truck is up in the sky, as well as the gear reduction is done inside the portal. So we got a 22% gear reduction. So that means the truck is on 37s, but the truck thinks it's on 31s. So we got all the torque back, all the power back, and we are also towing a trailer. So it gives it a better gas mileage and stuff as well. So a big misconception with portals is people think you can't go on the highway, it's for off-road use only. False. And then the other thing is you can't tow anything. And we've just finished out an 8,000 mile trip with probably 6 of those towing a trailer. It's a little 3,000 pound trailer with stuff in. And that was just for the expos and stuff. But we've done it, and we've only done 1 oil change on the portals. Bronkbuster calls for an oil change every 5,000 miles. So pretty much when you're doing your motor, which makes it super simple, and it's incredibly easy to do the oil change. We've been nothing but happy with the portals. Being able to wheel a rig this heavy, this like top heavy, getting that extra 5 inches of width on each side has also made it hugely more stable. So we don't feel like we're massively top heavy when wheeling off camber stuff, or when you start getting wheel lift and stuff, it's stayed pretty mellow. So yeah, Bronkbuster portals are awesome. That's what makes the truck so wide, and that's how the truck will be forever, and I will forever portal an Overland build. It is the best way to do it because the suspension is stock and the truck rides like it's factory. Like, we've just got 2.5s shocks in there, and that's it. We haven't touched anything else. So yeah, that wraps up my 2019 Ford Ranger Overland build that we just did. An 8,000 mile trip and 3 months on the road camping and living the lifestyle, testing out our products to make sure they work flawlessly. So happy to close it out and get back to civilization for a bit. But thank you to everybody that came out and visited us at the shows and that enjoyed the content on Instagram and YouTube while we did the traveling.